people. That's what that sounds like to me. It's like what? It'll make it better for everybody else. There'll be less resources being depleted by the people we kill. Like what?
Do you think that there's... His is more job injury stuff.
I know, but it's so
yeah,
gaslighty. Yeah. It's so gaslighty. If we fuck these people over, it'll be better for everybody else. Because then you could feed the demons. The demons will be appeased.
God, you know, I never thought of it that way, and I had a feeling as I was saying it, you were going to flip it into a thing that was going to leave me disturbed, and it has.
If there's anything demonic, like people don't want to think about demonic, like they don't want to think like, oh, there's like a devil with a pitchfork and a fucking tail with a pointy end to it. And
yeah.
But like, what is demonic behavior? Like, if you know that someone's going to die, but you can deny them coverage because you just can make some sort of a subjective decision whether or not this person should get coverage, and then you know they're going to die, and they've been paying for insurance for years.
Yeah.
How do you do that? That's like a pact with it. Like, you could just sign here, and then they're covered, and then they get this operation. You do everything you can to help them, and then everybody loves your company. Or you could say, I just want the money now.
It's dark.
It's dark.
It's dark.
It's just there's no pitchforks, there's no brimstone, so you don't think it's demonic.
The thing that leaves me without hope, and I am not a very hope-filled individual, but the thing that leaves me with even less hope every day is I feel like the culture and people in all positions, you know, but yours is we're talking a very macro example of the thing. I find that more and more people every day they position themselves in a way where they say, I will not be accountable, and I will force you to be the one that has accountability to hold me to something. And until you hold me to something where I cannot squirm or pivot in any way, at that point I will then be accountable. And I feel that more and more people operate like that, obviously on a corporate level, but also an individualistic level. It makes me very, very sad. It's like having so many people that you encounter in your life, sometimes it's friends, and you're sitting there going, really? I have to be the adult? I have to sit you down as a 48-year-old man and say to you, what you're acting like right now is fucked up.
Yeah.
Why do I have to do that with you? Because you're not going to do it, so I guess I have to.
Right.
And the more that you try to hold yourself to accountability, and I'm not patting myself on the back in any way, but I find that burden grows and grows and grows, and you just start to get to this place where you're like, what the fuck is going on? It's like an epidemic of ethics at a certain point.
Especially if you get indoctrinated into a real cutthroat corporate environment. You know, those guys can justify a lot of stuff because that's in the culture. Like, our culture is talking shit to each other. Like, the way we talk shit to each other, like, there's a lot of people in a lot of other jobs that would have a giant problem with what you and I think is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, if you cracked on me and it was fucking awesome and we're all howling, like, I could get you in real trouble if we were accountants.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If we're accountants, that'd be a giant problem.
Yeah.
So we're used to fucking with each other, and we're used to laughing about stuff, and we're used to saying ridiculous shit that we don't really mean just for fun. And most people aren't. So this is our culture. This would freak, like, if you got normies and you brought them into the green room of the mothership, we're all just hanging out one night just talking and having fun, it'd probably freak them out. Because people talk like this. Like, Jesus Christ, you guys are at work and you talk like this? This is crazy.
It's why comics I've seen people get very offended who aren't comics that get brought into a green room.
Right.
And the comics are kind of ignoring them or making it very clear we don't want you in here.
Yeah.
And people think that that's the comics thinking who the fuck they are. It's not. It's like, guys, we have a thing we do. You're not part of it. You're not going to understand it. And I've seen more than once somebody get offended by something we're saying who shouldn't have been in here in the first place.
It's usually someone's boyfriend or girlfriend.
Yes.
Yeah.
More
almost always. Yeah. I'm trying to be nice.
Yeah. It's someone's
It's only
girlfriend.
happened once with a guy. But you got to count it. You got to count it.
Yeah. Once in 1968, a man got offended in a green room.
There's some guys that are just notoriously make bad decisions, and then they bring their bad decisions around for everybody else to revel in.
God almighty. I mean, is there anything worse?
That's right, but this is just our culture. That's the most minor of things to worry about. Someone fucking up the vibe of the green room with dopey talk, which is fine. Which is fine, but it's so much better than that cutthroat. So, like, it literally rewards sociopathic behavior. Like, to be a person who thinks entirely on the bottom line of the company. This is my job as a blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You know, my job is to make sure we make more money every fucking quarter. Period. End of discussion. And then you get in that mindset, and that's what you're trying to do, and everybody else is trying to do that too. They're all fucking each other over. And then what's the ultimate form of that? Politics.
Yeah.
The ultimate form of that. The ultimate form of fucking everybody over and making the biggest exaggerations and lying the most about people and using the most leverage. And it's wild to watch, man.
And what you're describing is it's quintessential Rod Serling shit.
Yeah.
It's when it comes down to survival, because eventually that to me is what the technique is and how you get it to keep working in your favor if you're the asshole at the top of the food chain, right? You say, if I make people desperate enough, they will do desperate things to keep a situation that they feel now privileged to have or lucky to have.
Right.
And you get people. Did you ever see the Twilight Zone where the guy has the bunker?
Yeah.
And he tells the neighbors, I keep telling you, build a nuclear bunker. You're going to need it. They're all making fun of him. And then the thing comes over the radio as they're talking at dinner. There are nuclear missiles on the way, whatever. And he goes to his bunker, and they're all at his door, like, let us in. He goes, I told you guys you should have made a bunker. There's only enough room in here for me and my family. And they kick his door in, and they turn on each other, and they start getting racial with each other, right?
God.
And then at the end, it was a false alarm.
Oh, God. And now everybody's revealed.
Everybody's sitting there like, yeah. And they're like, well, sorry about that. And he's like, no, there's no turning back from this, you know?
Yeah.
But that's what it is. It's people get so desperate. It's survival. And as long as they feel that fear, that threat, that my weekly paycheck might be cut off from me, and that starts the chain of dominoes to my children starving and whatever it is.
Yep.
People that do some really foul fucking shit, man.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Some really foul fucking shit. You know? I feel very lucky that we're in several different ways. You know, we're all operating sort of at different levels of this crazy industry we're in. But all of us in this circle that we now all exist in comedy, it's like we all get to be independently employed, independently sufficient. And I think that allows you to potentially live a better life, you know?
It's just a better way of life for sure. Well, at least for us. But the thing is, some people, they genuinely like coding. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, unless you can get a job off-site where they don't even let you do it anymore. Now they're making people go back to work, which is so interesting. Because there was a few people that fucked it up for everybody else, probably. It was like a bunch of lazy people who fucked off and didn't really do their work and kind of like half-assed everything because they were at home in their fucking pajamas and they didn't want to go back to work.
Yeah. Yeah, there are guys out there that are like, I love being a janitor. What do you want me to do? I gotta go work somewhere.
It's just people saying they don't want to go back to the office. That to me is a wild. Like, everyone always had to work in an office. There's a reason. You go there, that's work. Right. When you're at home, you could be staring at your phone. You could be jerking off. How many reporters got caught jerking off? Like to Zoom calls.
Insane.
You can't just leave people alone.
Insane.
They'll pretend they're doing as good a job. They're not. They got to go to the office. That's why, like, all the people that are like super ambitious, like psycho Elon Musk type characters, you got to go to the fucking office.
You know, dude. I have mixed feelings about the office thing because I worked in offices at one point. I understand somebody saying, "Kid, it was soul deadening." The overhead lights, the gray cubicles, whatever. Right?
Oh, I get it.
So I get, like, I don't want to be in that environment. It sucks. But now you see offices, I make this immaculate. It's like, now they make them fun. There's like ping pong tables and shit like that. I don't like that either. I think that creates the wrong vibe at work.
That's severance.
Yeah. Yes.
Right?
Yeah. It should be just soul deadening enough that you feel like I must work.
Yes.
But maybe not, I want to hang myself. You know? And I think all that beanbag chairs in the office shit is a fucking fishing lure.
What did you do when you were in office work? This episode is brought to you by the Farmer's Dog. I think we can all agree that eating highly processed food for every meal isn't optimal. So why is processed food the status quo for dog food? Because that's what kibble is, an ultra-processed food. But a healthy alternative exists the farmer's dog. They make fresh food for dogs. What does it look like? Real meat and vegetables that are gently cooked to retain vital nutrients and help avoid any of the bad stuff that comes with ultra processing. And it's not just random ingredients thrown together. Their food is formulated by on-staff board-certified vet nutritionists. These people are experts on dog nutrition, and they're all in on fresh food. The farmer's dog also does something unique. They portion out the food to your dog's nutritional needs. This ensures that you don't overfeed them, making weight management easy. Research shows that dogs kept at a healthy weight can live up to 2.5 years longer. Head to thefarmersdog.com/Rogan to get 50% off your first box, plus free shipping. This offer is for new customers only.
The last one I had was I worked for the Senate in Texas. I worked for the. Your expression is so funny.
I'm just waiting for you to finish this. This is
okay.
interesting. I didn't want to give it away.
No, you. I worked for the Texas Senate. I worked for the Senate Media Department during the 76th legislative session or the 77th.
No shit. What'd you do with that?
So I went to college for production, video and audio production. And I got out of school, and at the time, I graduated in 2000. So it was right after that whole Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez indie film boom happened. And I said, that's what I want to do. I want to work in independent film. I want to do that. I want to write scripts. I want to direct movies. I want to create like in that space. So I said, well, I keep hearing about this in Austin, Texas. Robert Rodriguez is from there. Who's the guy? Slacker. The guy that did Slacker and Dazed and Confused. And yeah, Richard Linklater. He was from here. And I'm like, well, those guys are doing stuff down there. And, you know, I had no fucking concept how any of it worked.
Right.
So I moved down here. I met a few people that had the same interest. I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. Immediately, they were like, yeah, get in fucking line, buddy. Good luck. Right? So I got a job. For a little while, I was working at, like, the PBS or whatever, the government TV station over here, whatever the hell it was.
Mike Judge is out here, too. Don't forget that.
Oh, yeah, Mike Judge, yes.
Yeah.
And I was working there, and it was brutal. You're holding a camera for 4 hours in a studio as two people talk about, fucking, I don't know, new county lines and shit. Your neck is burning. It was miserable. So I saw in the paper an ad back when you opened a newspaper to find a job, and it said, help wanted, Texas Senate Media Department, we need a radio reporter. I was like, well, shit, man. I'm already a performer because I was playing music and stuff, and I already had an interest in comedy. And it's radio, so I know how to do production, whatever. So I applied, and I got the job. And the job was the Senate. The Senate has its own media department, and I was one of the people they sent to the Senate floor every single day for the legislative hearings. And I had to take notes and do a radio show at the end of every day that surmised whatever happened that day. And then you'd upload it to a server, and then all these local radio stations in Texas would download it and play it as their news break. And that's what I did every day.
Oh, my God.
And I sucked at it.
How long did you do it for?
For the whole session, which was like 6 or 8 months or something like that.
Oh, my God. What are those people like?
Joe?
They party a lot, huh?
Like motherfuckers.
Isn't that crazy?
I've been hammered with Texas senators.
It's not just Texas. It's kind of all of them.
Yeah, but I don't mean drunk. I mean like hammered. These guys would have catfish fries and keg parties.
Somebody left cocaine in the White House, remember?
Yes.
Remember?
Yeah.
Somebody left fucking coke.
Yeah.
They brought coke to the White House. How did you do that? How'd you get in with coke?
Dude, I knew nothing.
Bro, have you seen Hunter?
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Have you seen Hunter Biden describing why crack is so good? It's the greatest crack advertisement of all time.
No.
If crack wasn't terrible for you, this guy makes me want to try crack. I'm not going to. Don't do it. I'm not giving any advice, but I'm saying this guy, like, legitimately, this might be the best advertisement for crack of all time. I'm going to send it to you, Jamie. you're gonna watch it and you're gonna
I'm
go, oh
excited.
my god,
I'm excited for
I
this.
want to try crack.
He's the gift that keeps on giving.
Well, he's a lot smarter than people give him credit for. I'll
Yeah.
tell you that. Like, he's talking, and one of the things he was talking about was why smoking things are so addictive, why smoking cigarettes are so addictive, and like the psychology behind it. He's not dumb, but he's just a guy who, became an addict, and that fucks your whole life up. It
Yeah.
fucks you. You become a subhuman.
Yeah.
When you're junkied out all the time, and you're that dude who's like what he was doing, like making films and shit, and driving with a gun.
Yeah.
Like, he was fucking gone. He was out there, dude.
Well, when you're an addict with money,
Yeah.
it gets real wild.
And your dad is one of the most famous people on the
Yes.
planet. It's so crazy. Listen to this.
Well, the only difference between crack cocaine and cocaine is sodium bicarbonate and water and heat. Literally.
That's it?
That's it.
And those things are pretty much free if you go to like a science store.
This is free. You can go to your neighborhood convenience store and just get. Anyway, I don't want to tell people how to make crack cocaine, but it literally is a mayonnaise jar, cocaine, and baking soda.
How different is the experience?
It's vastly different. And like for real, I feel really reluctant to kind of have some euphoric discussion. I know you're not asking me to do that, but have some euphoric discussion about crack cocaine.
I think this might be kind of the opposite here.
Okay, no, it's the exact opposite. I'm saying I don't want to have the experience of some euphoric recall. That's how powerful crack cocaine is. Does crack cocaine make you act any differently? No. Is it safer than alcohol? Probably. People think of crack as being dirty. It's the exact opposite. When you make crack, what you're doing is you're burning off all the impurities so that it combines with the sodium bicarbonate, which makes it smokable. That's all. All of these actors and, people in the past that talked about they had a problem with cocaine and freebasing. They were smoking crack.
So straw on the stove is the same thing.
Not exactly, but close to it. But it's a little bit different. But anyway, my point about it, your point about it, which I think is true, is that there's a thing about crack that is really insidious. And what it is that anytime, I think one of the reasons that they believe that smoking cigarettes is so addictive is because it combines three really important things. It's habit forming, there's an oral fixation, and there is a ritual combined with it. And so the idea of hand to mouth is a habit and a fixation that we learn very early, even as children. With a pacifier, with a spoon, with your thumb, to breastfeeding. Okay, so that really, and I don't want to get into the psychology of it because I'm no expert, but I do know this, is that you combine with that ignition, combustion, and then you combine the ritual. You have your cigarette in the morning, you have your cigarette when you get out of the car, you have your cigarette with your coffee. Crack is that on steroids. It's over and over. There's ritual to it. There's a ritualized part of it. The combination of all of those addictive behaviors together becomes like really powerful. And the drug in and of itself is a more immediate euphoric sensation and connected to it than, in my experience, cocaine alone.
Does it require more frequency to maintain the high?
Yes. Yes. And the capacity to use more than you could otherwise with powder cocaine, just physically to be able to ingest it.
Okay.
So you can't.
We should give that guy credit. Who's the dude who's interviewing him?
Andrew Callahan, Channel 5.
Well, he nailed it. He did a great job. That's the best ad for coke ever.
It's the best.
Best ad for crack ever.
Yeah.
And he could be president. How
Yeah.
about that? How about that?
That kid,
about that?
I
He could. Like, no bullshit. Hunter Biden, after all he'd been through, look, we all his dirty laundry's all out there. We all see it. He was a freak.
He, speaking of which,
He's just smarter than his dad when his dad was young. And he was a crackhead.
he spoke so eloquently about crack just then. I mean, that was, and by the way, you know what two words got me?
What?
Ignition was the first one.
Yeah, Jesus, bro.
And I forget the second word, but ignition, I was like, you got my ears here. But I have a friend that smoked crack.
Oh my God, I have a couple.
Yeah, and I said, what was it like? Like, describe it to me. And he goes, dude, the best way I could describe it is, imagine you are as horny as humanly possible. You have a raging hard on, and a woman sits down on your dick for 2 seconds and then plops off and walks away. He goes, that sensation of the thrill of that He goes, that's the only way I could think to kind of equate like what the charge of it is and how excited you are
Jesus.
and how you feel you need to immediately do it again.
And when you do it again, do you get the same reaction, or is it dumbed down?
That I don't remember what he said, but I got the impression that it's kind of like,
It
it's
has to
that
be, right?
just on repeat. It's the broken record
up and
of
down,
that.
up and down, and then big crashes.
Yeah.
I had a buddy in New York that smoked crack, and he would have these giant crashes. And one of the things that he would have to do is he would have to go to a store, like a liquor store, and get a 40 ounce of malt liquor.
Okay.
That was how he'd calm himself down from the crack. So like a lot of times I would pick him up. I would even drop him off when he was buying the shit back then. And then when I'd get him, he'd just be like pale like cardboard and had to drink malt liquor. It was like he was about to have a fucking heart attack.
But by the way, that's all it takes is 140 ounce? I'm thinking you need to fucking mainline a bottle of Jack Daniels to even
He
out.
would get a couple of 40s.
Okay.
But 140 is really strong. Those are things that are crazy strong. Like malt liquor, okay. It's kind of crazy that malt liquor is only in the hood.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of beer that tastes like shit. It's not like malt liquor is like a fine Sam Adams ale.
Yeah.
Malt liquor's it's just there to get you fucked up, and if it's cold, it's tolerable.
Yeah.
Why is it way more popular in the hood?
Yeah, it's usually 40s are usually very cheap. It is malt liquor, but it's cheap. We used to buy 40s when I was in college. That's all we drank because it was cheap.
Right.
We used to drink a 40 called Camo. The label was camouflage, the cheapest looking camouflage design ever, and it said camo in like the army stamp. It was $1.50 a 40, and it was 8.9% alcohol. So college, it's perfect.
That's so
there
strong.
it is, baby.
I remember Old English. And I remember, God, there was a bunch of them. There was a bunch of those like giant malt liquors that everybody. What were the big name ones? They were always in rap songs.
Oh, dude, OE.
Yeah, Old English is the big one.
8 Ball was
Colt 45.
Colt 45.
Colt 45.
That's right. Yeah.
Cobra.
King Cobra.
yeah, Hurricane.
Old English 800 that was the classic. The Old English 800.
St. Ides. Yeah, Old English 800 was 8 Ball. That was the Easy E song, 8 Ball.
Right,
if you
bro.
remember.
You drink that stuff, you would get fucked up.
Yeah.
Like that's a weird gray area between liquor and beer. You know what I mean?
Tastes like shit. It tastes like you took bad beer and poured vodka in it.
So nasty. But yet totally legal.
Yeah.
Which I agree with. Totally legal.
And I mean, but what you were saying though about you'll find it in the hood or whatever, it applies same thing to college kids. Dude, when you don't have a ton of cash and you want to get fucked up, and for under $5 you can get 2 40s.
Oh yeah, and you're blitzed.
You got yourself a
240s.
night. Yeah. You got yourself a hell of a night.
Hell of a night.
Wait. I said earlier the sober thing. What's that?
I said, wait.
But wait. I just saw the clip. I remember you telling me in the green room that you stopped drinking. And then I just saw the clip of you saying it to Ron White that you think you're done.
I mean, I would most certainly have a glass of wine at some point in time in my life. But as far as like regular drinking every week, I'm definitely done. You feel better. It's crazy. I mean, it's such a simple thing to. Chris Williams did it first. He was like the first guy that I know that's like a podcaster that said it's been his biggest like life hack, his change. I was like, really, that big of a deal? And he's like, that big of a deal. He's like, it's like a remarkable change in the energy levels that you have, because you're not fucking poisoning yourself all the time.
Yeah. I love it.
It's so fun.
It's the
It's
most
so fun.
It's the most fun.
It's so fun. It's so fun to get a little tipsy.
That's what I remember, speaking of Ari said that to me once, because I remember when Ari got into like enjoying drinking. And because he didn't
drink for a long time.
Yeah. And I go, you like it now? And he goes, it's the most fun thing. And I was like, yeah, it's pretty fucking fun, man. But I saw a kid in the coffee shop today. I was waiting in line to order, and the kid in front of me turned around, and he's like, hey, man, I love your comedy, whatever. He was a nice kid. And he goes, dude, you sober too now? all you guys are getting sober. I was like, no.
Oh, you guys. That's funny. They think like we move as a group.
Yeah.
Oh, they're all Republicans.
It's the things I hear people apply to this comedy scene. I'm just like, what the fuck are you
It's
guys?
so dumb.
It's
so
ridiculous.
dumb.
It's ridiculous.
I read another article the other day about us being an anti-woke comedy scene.
Yeah, the thing about UCB coming in.
Like, look, why not just do great stuff? Go do great stuff. Don't worry about what we're doing. And we're not anti-woke. There's no anti-woke. There's like a shit ton of left-wing comics at the mothership. It's like that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah,
We're not dwelling on that. We're making fun of things.
That article upset me because when I saw the headline, I was excited because I used to do UCB shows in New York.
I did them in L.A.
Yeah, and I did them in LA too, and I was like, oh cool, UCB's coming. Like it'll be more
That was
stuff
always fun.
for the scene and stuff.
The scene, it's always better if there's more in the scene. But that's also, you got to realize, like, someone framing it in a way that's going to
Yes.
get people to read it.
Yeah.
And then there's people that genuinely do think that way. And it's what a lot of that is, I think, is the walled garden issue. And the fact that there's like a walled garden, right? When there's a walled garden, there's a bunch of people that are doing really well together and they're hanging out together and they have fun. And you're not in that group. You start getting mad at that and you find reasons why that's bad because, you know, you want something like that in your life, which we all do. If I see like a whole group of friends like palling around and laughing, I always smile because I know what that's like. I like it. But if you never have that in your life and you see a group of people palling around and having a good time together and hugging each other, just laughing and just having a good old time, you feel like left out. You feel disrespected almost.
Yeah.
You know? This episode is brought to you by ZipRecruiter. Speed and quality aren't always synonymous. I don't go to a fast food joint expecting a 5-star meal or use instant coffee thinking it'll taste like it came from a French press. There are exceptions, of course. Like if you're hiring, you can use ZipRecruiter to find qualified people fast. Try it yourself free at ziprecruiter.com/Rogan. According to G2, it's one of the most popular hiring sites, probably because of how fast it actually works. I'm talking same-day results in some cases. With ZipRecruiter's advanced resume database, you can proactively find and connect with top talent in minutes. And new resumes are always being uploaded, over 300,000 every month. So you have an opportunity to reach more people with the skills you're looking for. Experience hiring, speed, and quality with ZipRecruiter. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And if you go to ZipRecruiter.com/Rogan right now, you can try it for free. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/Rogan. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Yeah.
People get angry.
Do you remember, like, I don't know if you ever experienced this, but I'm assuming you have. It's kind of like when you're coming up the ladder initially in show business and you see famous people on TV and whatever, and you got an opinion about everybody that's having too much fun, that's annoying.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
that guy's music sucks and this
He's
and that,
a
whatever.
hack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then 5 years later, you find yourself in a room with the guy at some party and you meet him and talk to him and you go, what? He's the nicest. What the fuck? Well, I think I like his music now.
It's so stupid. But it's just a normal thing that people do. We talk shit. And then the problem now is you talk shit, and you're just talking shit. Like, you and I would be talking the same way if we were in Mitzi's bar, just hanging out. We'd be talking shit.
Exactly.
And if someone records that and writes it down, it seems so much different than just regular talking shit, which is what everybody does.
Well, and that's one of the things I wrote down here that I wanted to say, and I don't say it, I swear to you, I don't say it to blow smoke because it's your place and I get to work there a lot and all that stuff. That's all beautiful. I say this very genuinely, man. When I swung in last night, and everybody's at the hanging after Kill Tony, and it's usually a fun time. And Carrie was like, she's like, hey babe, you want a shot? And I go, no, not tonight. I gotta take it easy tonight. And I go, I'm doing Joe's show tomorrow. And dude, like the staff, everybody, the friends, everybody being like, dude, congrats, fucking special drop today. You're doing Rogan tomorrow, dude. Kill it, have fun, dude. We fucking love you. And I stepped back and I was like, This feels like family to me. This is a beautiful thing. Everybody's so supportive. There's no backbiting. There's no shit talking. It's all fucking love. So when I hear people say negative shit about the Austin scene, I'm like, I've found it to be a beautiful experience. Like truly, like a truly heartwarming experience.
It's people that aren't in the scene. That's all it is. It's
Yeah.
like people that they're looking at it from the outside. And it's not just us that are like this. Like, my thought on all this shit is that my favorite people to hang out with are comedians. And if you make an environment where comedians are really happy and everyone has a lot of gratitude, a lot of gratitude for what they're able to do with their life, and that they have such great friends and they get to do sets and have fun, and it transfers over to all the other people too. It transfers over to the up and comers. It transfers over to the staff. Everybody is having a good time. Everybody has a real positive attitude. That's possible to do.
Yeah.
You don't have to start a cult. You don't have to. You just, just make a place.
It's
And you can do it. It can be done. We did it at the Comedy Store. The Comedy Store was pretty fucking positive for the most part before we left. And we do it here too. And some people don't want to hang with comics. They're lone wolves, and that's fine too, man. That's not what it's about. What it's about is making an environment where it's easiest possible for someone to thrive. So you got a bunch of feedback from a bunch of other comedians. You got a lot of up-and-coming talent that are like really killing it on stage and really trying to be heard and really writing new stuff all the time, performing all the time. It's good for everybody.
Yeah.
It's like a big old pressure cooker. It's
Yeah.
like a wrestling room at Iowa State.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, there's a bunch of killers in this fucking room. That's good for everybody.
Yeah.
It's good for all of us. I look at it the same way I look at sports. I look at it the way I look at martial arts. Like, what's the best way to get better? You got to surround yourself with really good people. Also, make a gym that has everything the fighters need. Everything they need, like the UFC performance or something like that, or performance, something like that.
Okay.
But have a place where it has everything the fighters need. So do that for comedy. Just
Yeah.
have it completely set up, financially the most beneficial for the comedians. It's like treats people well. Everybody gets. It's the whole business is designed to break even.
Yeah.
That's all it's designed to do.
It was awesome, particularly this past weekend, because I did Ari's shows with him in Fat Man in the big room, and then I was also doing Little Boy spots in between. So, like what you're talking about, the gym, right? It's like it was so fucking cool. It's like you go into Fat Man, blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? Then you go into Little Boy. It's a little calmer, a little more quiet.
It's like you're in people's living room.
Yeah, you sit down on
Yeah.
the stool, you talk a little slower. I'm like, this
Yeah.
is so good for growth in both areas. Like,
Just like a gym, like you'd set up a gym. It's a CrossFit gym.
yeah,
It's like over there you do your weights, over here you do your cardio. Yeah.
yeah, it's great. It's fucking great, and the staff is so awesome. Like, just the love of the staff is really a beautiful thing.
They're very cool people. And a lot of them, like Kerry and Adam and
Oh,
Jody,
yeah.
they all came from the store. So
Yeah.
everybody was unemployed, man.
Yeah.
So I scooped them up when they were all unemployed.
Yeah,
I said, let's have fun. Let's put something crazy together.
Egan is the funniest.
He's the best.
He makes me laugh so hard. He he watched me the other night in Little Boy, and I came off stage, and he's like, good shit, man, good, that's new shit. And I go, I'm super excited about this Russell Brand joke, and and he goes, yeah. So then the next day he starts texting me, and he goes, I couldn't sleep last night. And I go, why? And he goes, I'm just so excited about your new Russell Brand joke.
That really is how he thinks, though.
He goes, I can't sleep. And I go, wait, you're joking, right? And he goes, yes, I'm joking, you fucking idiot. It was so funny, dude. We were laughing so hard.
What?
He's the best, man.
Well, he learned it from Norm,
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
But he really does love it. Like, he really does love when people have new shit. Like, he really was joking around, I'm sure, but he was also looks forward to it a lot. He loves, like, the development process. And, he gives really good advice. Like, I've seen him give, like, really good advice to up-and-coming comics about, like, maybe this is what you need to concentrate on. This is where you have, like, a kind of a hole in your game, like how you're setting it up. Maybe you have too many words. Maybe you're this. Maybe you're that. Maybe you're looking down at the ground. Maybe looking in the audience a bit.
Yeah. I learned, excuse me, you're always learning, right? But I just rewatched the Gary Shandling doc, the HBO one. And he talks at the beginning of that. He talks about when Mitzi Shore said to him, "Honey, you're not a comic. You're not a comic. You're a writer." And then he was so determined to be a comic, and he was like, and you're seeing his notes from his journals from that time.
Yeah.
And he's like, use your face, your expressions matter at these moments, and your energy and the way you look. And I was like, oh my God, man.
Wow.
Like, it's just, and then you watch his stand up and you go, I can see what he's talking about. You see him go like from this to like,
Right. He worked at it.
and you're like, yeah, it's fucking fascinating.
You're not a comic. You're a writer. I can see her saying that. Bro, if she said that to me, I'd quit. I'd be like, fuck. This is over.
The who was the guy that used to run the comic strip in New York?
Lewis?
Not Lewis. The guy that passed away. He had the mustache. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
You mean the guy that got murdered?
No.
No,
The
that's
guy.
at the stand.
Yes, that's Dave
The comic
Kimowitz. Rest in
strip.
peace.
Who passed away at the comic strip?
There was that guy that was kind of legendary in New York that ran the comic strip. He was the booker, and when you auditioned, you had to audition for him, and then he would take you into a room and tell you, Lucian.
Oh, Lucian. Yes, that's right.
I remember I auditioned for him, desperately trying to get in anywhere in New York.
Oh, Lucian was brutal.
He brought me in the room. He sat me down. He goes, what can I say? I mean, some of the jokes work, but I don't believe you. And, and then he goes, look at the way you dress. You clearly have no pride in your appearance. And I was like,
Oh,
Jesus
God.
Christ.
Yeah, he was brutal. I don't remember what he said to me, but it was also not favorable. He would like occasionally give me spots, but I think he thought I was too dirty.
Oh, boy.
But I was 21. I didn't have anything to say. I had nothing to say.
How long were you in New York? You were out of New York way before I came to New York, but how long were you
I
there
left
for?
New York when I was 25.
Okay.
Almost 26, I guess. No, I had to be 26. No, I was 26. And then I came to California initially for this Fox show that I did with Jim Brewer. Jim Brewer was the he was the mascot for the other team. And it was a baseball team. It was called Hardball.
Was it a sitcom?
Yeah, terrible show. Terrible
okay.
show. So I moved out here for that, and then that got canceled.
You know what's funny, dude? I was saying this to all the boys out in the outside area here. I gotta tell Joe this because I keep forgetting to tell him. Because I always forget. Oh, he was on that show. News radio during COVID saved my fucking life. I swear to you.
Did you binge it?
I was living in an apartment that only had windows in the bedroom, so I had no light in my apartment.
Oh no.
It was a tenement building. The hallway, I was telling the guys outside, I was like, the
You were
hallway.
trapped in a place with no light at all?
Yeah. The hallway in this building looked like the alley behind the Wuhan lab. I was like, I'm gonna get COVID from the fucking railing. I was like, it was so gross. Everybody was so freaked out. Nobody knew what was going on, like in the beginning, and I was like, dude, I'm trapped. I'm alone. Like, this is the worst thing ever. And my buddy Pat Walsh, who I do my We'll See You in Hell podcast with, he said, listen, man, have you seen News Radio? And I said, no, I've never seen it. I missed it when it was on. And he goes, look, Amazon's got the whole series right now for $20. Just buy it and watch it. And I bought it, and I watched it, and you, fucking Dave Foley, best, Phil Hartman. I was just
Steve
like,
Root, Andy
Steve,
Dick,
oh my God.
Vicki Lewis,
It just,
Candy Alexander, Maura Tierney.
yeah.
It was a great cast.
It just took me, because it was so fun, it was so silly, it was classic, it reminded me of a better time, because it was a little bit older, because it was from the
It's
90s.
innocent. Yeah, almost innocent.
Oh my God.
That style of comedy.
Yeah.
It's so silly. It's like it's a fun thing to do, and to be able to do it that way, like with those people, they're all so fucking good, you know. And I didn't know. I had fucking zero acting experience. I did a couple of episodes of that Hardball show. It was terrible. Like I said, I wasn't good on it either. I'm not a good actor.
No, you're
It's-
not. No. I wasn't saying no, you're not a good actor. I'm saying no, you're wrong. I want to compliment you. Sitcom multicam acting, multicam, is very different from single cam. Multicam, in my opinion, is the hardest form of acting.
No, dude, you're doing it in front of a crowd. It's like stand-up. It's not that hard. You know when you've got a good one, when you got a good punchline, and you can look Andy Dick in the face and say, because it says it on the label, like whatever it is, and you know it's going to get a big laugh. It's just like doing stand-up. Like comics thrive in those multicam sitcoms. That's why they kept giving them to like Roseanne,
Right.
Seinfeld, Brett Butler. They wanted Tim Allen,
Right.
everybody that could do stand-up
Right.
could do that kind of in front of an audience acting.
See, I think you're not giving yourself enough credit. I think I agree with you, the idea that if the joke's there, you can land it. But think about it like this with stand-up, right? Woody Allen once said, I used to think it was as easy as just writing a good joke, and if I said it, it was fine. He goes, then I realized that wasn't the case. I had to write good jokes that were of my personality. And that's why I'm so enamored by guys that are good at multicam sitcom acting, because they're writing something for a character. And if it's knowing how to land the joke, but also making it believable. I'm in awe of Kevin James.
Oh, he's the man.
I'm in awe of him. You watch King of Queens, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. He delivered that line that 9 out of 10 other people, it would be in no way organic or believable, that choice he just made. And he does it in a way where you believe that's actually who this person is, and it gets a laugh. Like,
Yeah, that was one of the last of the
Fascinating.
great sitcoms,
yeah.
right? Because like, when did the sitcom officially die? The only one who has a sitcom right now that I know is Miss Pat, and hers is on the BET app.
Yeah.
But who else? Who else do you know that has a sitcom?
No, but my buddy Pat I just mentioned works on that show, actually. And I agree.
Well, Shane has a sitcom, but Shane's Tires is not really a sitcom. It's a single
single
camera
cam sitcom.
comedy show.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not a situation comedy, right? Is it?
Well, it is.
Is it a sitcom technically?
It is. Yes, but it's a single cam. Like the
It's
multicam
different.
is the traditional whatever. But I think it died. I was watching. I also watched this later during COVID. Rules of Engagement, which was David Spade's last sitcom. It was him and Patrick Warburton. I don't know if you remember that show.
Patrick Warburton was on News Radio big too.
He
did
was?
a couple episodes. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
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 I forget how many.
But that show came out in like, I think it ended in like 2017-ish.
So that was probably the last one.
Yeah.
2013.
2013. Wow. So you watch it, and they're getting jokes in where you're like, you can tell 2 years later they wouldn't have allowed any of these jokes.
You
And
know
I
what? A
think
show
that's
that I
it.
used to shit on
What's
until
that?
I watched it. It was a really good show, and I feel bad that I used to shit on it. Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, Big Bang Theory's funny.
It's funny, man. It's a good show.
Yeah.
It's that kind of a thing. Like if that's what you want like a fun
Yeah.
sitcom. That's a fun sitcom, man. And I had always thought it was crap.
Yeah.
I'd always heard it was crap. Everybody, and I had made this judgment on it based on other people's opinions of it.
And we were talking earlier about what people hate on something.
Yeah.
Big Bang Theory, one of the most hated on sitcoms.
Meanwhile,
Everybody
Went Forever
went forever.
was the #1 show in the world.
I worked with Johnny Galecki. He was the fucking man. The coolest dude ever.
Which one's he?
He's the kid that was on Roseanne. The guy with the glasses. He was
Oh,
kind of
okay.
like the main dude outside of Sheldon. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, right. Yes.
The man. I got drunk and fell down the stairs of his house.
Oh, well, luckily you didn't need insurance.
No.
That would have been
No.
another story. And then
No.
they fucked me over.
Yeah.
Bro, speaking about getting fucked over, one more story that I read today. Jamie, find out if it's true, but I'm pretty sure it is. There was a guy who decided that he was going to leave Texas because of the woke direction that America is going in. So he decides to go to Russia because there's some American set up like an expat community in Russia.
Okay.
And this guy goes in there, and then they conscript him for the army and send him to the front line. Father who moved from family from Russia to escape woke America is sent to the front line.
Jesus Christ.
Bro, that's a crazy story.
That's insane.
With his family, with his wife and his daughters, he just moved there, doesn't know anything about the culture. All of a sudden, you're in the army.
That's it.
Yeah,
No
you're in
cho-
the army. We need you,
And by the way,
bro.
fed up with woke America, I would think Texas is a place where
Like, if you, like Texas is too woke for you. You need to go spend a couple months in Silver Lake. You think Texas is too woke?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Go hang out in the East Village for a couple weeks.
Oh my God. Yeah. I lived in Silver Lake. It is
Insufferable.
fascistly woke in
It's
Silver Lake.
insufferable. Everybody needs antidepressants. No one has any vitamin D. They're all rotting out from the inside. They're all overwhelmed with anxiety, trying to control everyone's speech and behavior, and like every fucking flag that you could possibly wave for what you support. What are we on this week?
Yeah.
What are we doing this week? Like,
Yeah.
everyone's fucking nuts.
I think a city that was always one of my big gripes with life in LA, or more specifically Hollywood. I think a city where you have to drive to get to the bar, you got a problem, because nobody's able to just go out the front door, go down the street, and just have some fun.
Right.
Everything it's got to be planned. It's got to be this. It's got to be
Hard
that.
to park.
Yeah. So nobody cuts loose.
Also, you're always in your car, so you're always isolated from other people.
Yes.
Until you integrate, and then you're back to my isolation. And
Yeah.
in New York, you have to integrate. Like you get on the subway, you walk down the street, everybody's there with everybody.
Yep. Dude,
There's something to be said for that.
there is. When I lived in LA, I said the reason I don't like LA, I always said the ultimate goal of people in LA is isolation. The ultimate goal of people in New York is integration. In LA, the big dream is what? Let me get the
Mansion.
Yeah, the house way up in these hills.
Big old gate dogs, fucking dudes on
Yeah.
sniper posts.
Yeah. Guys being like, I got an eye scanner on my
Dudes in
house. you know?
turrets with machine guns.
Yeah. It's and the only people, and then they have these parties in LA where they hire a staff to create the environment of a bar in their home. So now there's
Yeah.
like catering waiters
Yep.
walking around and shit. And you're like, guys, I'm just trying to play beer pong and like get fucked up. Like, what
So
is this, right?
So weird.
But New York, you could be top floor Trump Tower. Guess what? You walk out the front door, you're going to the same shit newsstand that I'm going to. You're getting coffee from the same fucking place.
That's another thing New York still has. Newsstands.
Yes.
People still buy the newspaper.
Isn't that
the
wild?
actual newspaper.
Yeah.
I wonder what percentage of newspapers get sold in New York City.
That's a great question.
Because nobody's buying newspapers anymore.
No.
Like, what percent? Is it possible to find out when New York Times give that information out? Like, what percentage of the New York Times, when it's consumed in paper form, is purchased in New York City?
It's probably the most out of anywhere, right? Because there's so many old school New Yorkers that are like, this is how you read the news. That's
Yeah.
part of their life.
Oh, yeah.
Getting the Times every morning, going
Those people are
home.
a problem. those people don't know they're getting fucked. They don't know the internet. They haven't made their way through Reddit yet.
The Billy
They
Connolly.
haven't seen the Fauci memes.
Billy Connolly had this joke after he got sober, where he was talking about living in New York, and he goes, every morning my routine is I walk to the newsstand, I buy a cup of coffee in the morning edition of the New York Times. My life is a ball of fire. And then the funniest part of the joke is he said there was the same homeless guy every day that he would give money to. And he said one day the homeless guy goes, you know you don't have to give me money every day. And he goes, I know I don't, you little fucking cunt.
Jesus. It's better with a Scottish accent, right?
It is, yeah, it is.
Yeah, there's something to be said for living jammed up with people. But I think ultimately the problem is it's just overstimulation. I don't think it's good for peace of mind. I think it's good for energy. It's one of the things that my friends that love it there, they all talk about, like my friend Jeff, who's been there forever. He's like, I love the energy of the city. I'm like, really? Fuck. Energy.
New York's one of those places, man, when I loved it. God, I loved it. And I still have a lot of love for the city. It wasn't for me to live in anymore. But I always said, like, New York is one of those cities, whenever you get there, it doesn't matter what year it is, when you get there, that begins your impression of the best version of New York. And eventually, might take 5 years, might take 2 decades, might take 30 years, whatever. Eventually, you're going to say, this isn't what it used to be anymore. But there's a crop of people coming in right at that time that are saying this is the best place ever.
Oh,
and
yeah.
30 years from now, they're going to say they're tired of it or whatever. But
Listen, buddy, 30 years from now, we're all going to be serving robots. Okay? So all this good old days stuff, we are the last people
yeah,
that are going to talk about the good old days.
yeah, this
We're
is
the
it.
last ones.
Yeah. I agree with you. We'll be serving robots.
Yeah.
Not robots are going to be. Yeah.
I remember people used to talk about the good old days of Times Square, and I was always like, "You're crazy! Like, you want Times Square to be filled with criminals and peep shows and fucking drug dealers?" And it was super sketchy,
Right.
super sketchy. And then I saw it the way it is now, where it's a giant Applebee's, and I was like, "Oh, they were right." It's all, it's like, it's one of those things that, like, you see where it's going. You see where it's going. You're like, you guys don't understand. This is going in a terrible direction. These are just the first steps of something going in a terrible direction.
Yeah.
Like, at first you think it's good because there's no more peep shows. There's no more, street hustlers and scary people trying to rob people. But now you have the corporatization of one of literally the wildest places in New York City was Times Square. It was a wild ass, crazy place.
Yeah. What you want to me, the analogy is you want the perfect dive bar. That's what we all want. Feels comfortable,
Right.
little gritty,
Yeah.
but I feel okay. Once in a while, you'll go, let's find a dive bar. You walk in, and there's too many boxes in the corner, and nothing works. And you're like, something's not right here. There was one we used to go to in L.A. There was a motel upstairs, and the bar downstairs only served two things, Modelo and Corona. And we were like, there is some sort of pimping operation or something happening in here. It's too much.
There's a lot of places like that are losing money. You're like, oh, is it Chinese triads own this? Like, who owns this fucking business? Like, how is this business still open?
Yeah. But you want perfect dive bar vibes. When when it's New York Times Square now is like, it's like going to a bar in Epcot Center, and you're like, oh God, this has no pulse. I didn't want it this clean. Not this clean.
When I was a kid, I used to play pool in New York at Chelsea Billiards. It's a 24-hour pool hall that was known throughout the world as a place where, like, the best pool players in New York City would go and gamble. So I'd go there 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, any given night, and you would find some of the best players in the world matching up, playing pool for money.
Wow.
Oh, it was amazing. And it was just 24/7. It was open all the time. So there's like guys who were street hustlers, who were pool hustlers, who would sleep under the tables. There was a bunch of people there that were like really talented pool players, but they were basically homeless. And they would just run around. And my friend that I was telling you about that smoked crack, that's how I knew him. He was basically a homeless crackhead who was a genius pool player. Yeah.
Did you ever get to play against any of the big guys?
Yeah, I got my ass kicked. I played a bunch of times. I wasn't nearly good enough back then to play against those guys. I was just learning pool, but I was fascinated by it. But it was just the place, the kind of thing that you'd have in New York City. There was all these different places we could go. We could go to like 10, 15 places that were pool halls in New York City. There were 24 hours. And you would go there, and this one was a complete Chinese-owned place. You would go there, and like some of them you would go to, not Chelsea, but some of them you would go to. They were off the beaten path. You'd go there. Everyone spoke Chinese. They had Chinese on the wall. They did speak a little bit of English. You pay them for table time. You go and play. You watch these dudes gambling there too.
It's one of my that version of New York. I think is probably, I would think, extinct.
It's not worth enough money.
Right.
So the thing is, like, if you could put some Louis Vuitton store
Yeah.
in the place where that used to be, that's going to make a lot more money than
course.
this seedy 24-hour pool hall that charges $20 an hour for
course.
table time.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. How are
Yeah.
you getting rich?
Yeah.
How are you getting rich for $20 an hour for table time?
The Louis Vuitton store also doesn't have crackheads sleeping under the purses.
But it was so fun, man. It was like, to be a young man and to be around all those people was like it was a very interesting experience, because although I knew it wasn't healthy for them, and I knew it wasn't a smart way to live your life, the fact that they were like dedicated to never doing anything but what they were doing, and they were smart people, man.
Yeah,
It's fucking weird.
Commitment is admirable, but that turns into that gets into the zone where you're like, this is dark. This is
It was totally dark.
Yeah, yeah.
But they just didn't fit.
Yeah.
They didn't fit. Okay, just like you barely fit in that Senate office, they didn't fit at all. They just couldn't do it. They have ADHD, stepmom beat them with a belt, whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
They're not gonna fit.
Yeah.
They're not gonna fit in whatever corporate cookie cutter life.
Right.
But they had a place in pool halls where they could hang out with other misfits. That was like a big part of the charm of the place.
Yeah.
It was a magnet for misfits.
Yeah. And now they're all DoorDash delivery guys, probably.
They're probably dead. I
Yeah.
know a lot of them are dead. A lot of dudes that I used to play with are dead.
One of the things that I cherish most about my New York experience was when I first got there. It's how I became friends with Attell. Dave liked to go out back then, you know, and Insomniac was on the air. That show he hosted where he would, you know, go
Yeah.
out into the cities.
And get
Yeah. So Dave, I like to drink, and Dave was like, Joe, man, you're a nice kid. You know, come out with me. And he would take me to these he knew every fucking after hours
Of course. Of course.
We had a fucking blast. And Attell was classic. He was like Batman. You'd be doing shots with him for 3 hours, and you'd turn around and he was gone.
Didn't want to say goodbye.
Yeah.
Fuck this, I'm just leaving.
Yeah, and you're literally like, I'm on Avenue D, I think. Where the fuck am I
And
right
they didn't
now?
have GPS back then either.
No GPS, no Uber.
No Uber.
No
Right.
Uber, and broke comic couldn't afford cabs, so
Oh
trying
my
to figure out how to
God.
subway back to Queens,
Oh
where I
my
live.
God.
Yeah.
At 3 in the morning.
Oh my God, 3, sometimes 5, 6.
Oh my
like
God.
Just, yeah.
That's the other thing. Bars in New York City open till 4 a.m.
Yeah, that's getting lesser and lesser too, though,
Is
man.
it?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. When we opened,
But it's legal still.
when we opened
Is
Joey.
it legal still?
Yes, it is. But there's when we opened Joey Rose's, we got a liquor license because there's a bar component, and when we went in for the liquor, I learned so much about a liquor license when we did that. You probably did too when you opened Mothership. There's like all these rules, like, okay, you're allowed to serve till midnight on these nights, but not till 2, and we'll let you go to 2 on these nights, but not till 4. And if you want to go till 4, it has to be in this type of location where this type of activity will never happen, meaning like a DJ that can offend neighbors because
Right.
of the bass, or it's got to be situated in a way where people will not be congregating outside because the venue is large enough to hold them. There's all this shit, but like that 4 a.m. shit is going away. I don't think they want it in New York anymore because of, you know, people get fucked up and they're puking outside, and then the residents are getting pissed off. And
What do you think is going to happen if this, how do you say his name? Mondani guy?
I don't know how to say his name, but I know
Is
you're
that how you
talking
say his
about-
name,
yeah.
Jamie?
Momdon. So that's like
Say it again.
Sauron. Almost like the movie, I think.
Say the whole name.
Momdon.
I'm going to use that as my ringtone from now on.
Mom Donnie.
You saying that?
Mom Donnie. I admittedly know very little about this guy. All I really know is half the people seem excited and half the people seem like it's the worst thing ever. So, par for the course, I guess, in politics.
Well, young people are very excited.
Yeah.
Young people think we're gonna give communism a try. Yay! Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
I know he wants to jack up a lot of taxes for businesses. I don't understand business enough to comment on that. I don't know